everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. This is Game of the Year so far, or as everyone is calling it, GOTYSO.
No one's calling it GOTYSO.
No one's calling it that.
Everyone's calling it GOTYSO. Everyone I've talked to has called it that. Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Nick. Right below me is my brother, Josh.
Nick, your children and your wife do not count as everybody.
I was going to say the person in the mirror he's looking at doesn't count.
And Josh, that was your intro. Jake is to the left of me. He is my other brother.
Yeah, Nick, you don't know. No one's calling it GOTYSO.
Nobody.
So for those wondering at home, what the hell is GOTYSO? I'll tell you, but first, let me get a few things out of the way. We are a Trident Network podcast. Go check out our siblings. They're awesome. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Fuck the algorithm. Tell a friend. Word of mouth is where it's at all today and tomorrow and every other day. And I think that's, you know what, now that I don't beg for reviews, that shortens that part just a little bit. So I'm just a little flabbergasted.
What about Alex Marvin Clark?
That's at the end.
That's at the end.
And actually, we're not using that song. We're using a different song by Lucrembo. I think it's called River. Yeah, it's called River. It's called River.
R.I.P. Marvin.
No, he'll be back. We just use different songs for the Game of the Year stuff. So for those at home, they're like, what the fudge is GOTYSO? I'll tell you what GOTYSO is. Game of the Year so far, we have 13 categories to go through in 5 days. That's right, you're getting 5 days of podcast. And we've got about 7 months of games to look back on. And so we're going to sit here and debate. We're going to pick out in each category a top 3. And then the last day is going to be Game of the Year so far. That is a list of the 10 best games of 2023 so far, with some December 2022 games thrown in there. Some heavy contenders. It's been a busy year. There's been a lot that's come out, and we've all played a lot of games. Josh, how do you feel about GOTYSO?
I have one thing I want to make very clear, if it's not been made very clear. TikTok, Instagram, wherever you're seeing this this clip, because we're going to make it happen, even if Nick isn't a part of it. For the love of God, please rip on him. Turn this man into a boy, because he thinks GOTYSO is the word, and it's not.
Jake, how do you feel about GOTYSO?
I'm not going to call it that.
All right. Hey, I love the enthusiasm. We've got enthusiasm coming out of our butts today. What do you say we take that enthusiasm into our first category? We're doing 3 categories today. We've got Best Continuing Game, Best Song, and Best Remake, or as I like to call it, Remakiest Remake. First up, we've got Best Continuing Game. I'm going to go down the list here. Let me put that up on the screen. For those watching, you can watch on YouTube. We've got the list up. We've got under Best Continuing Game, and you'll get a little bit of a preview of future lists. Don't spoil it for yourself, though. Best Continuing Game, we've got Psychonauts 2, Fortnite, Marvel Snap, Genshin Impact, Rust, Warzone, Teamfight Tactics, Battlefield 2042, League of Legends, The Case of the Golden Idol, Nobody Saves the World, and Brawl Stars. Josh, I thought we hated Battlefield 2042.
We did. However, thanks to our fourth brother, Matthew, they've redeemed themselves enough for me to at least re-download it and play it again. And I will give it to them. It's a much better game now than it was when it was first released, within the first year of it being released even.
What's made it better?
Well, they finally decided to get off their asses and actually put guns in the game. Before if you're lucky, you'd have like 20 guns. Where if you look at past Battlefields, base game wise, you had 40 guns, maybe 50. Maps are being reworked and are better, have a better flow to them for the most part. Some of the new maps they have on there are also better designed and have better environments. I don't know. I just think it's gotten better. I can actually tolerate playing it now and not contemplate my life choices.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's on the list for right now. We'll keep it. Jake, I'm seeing a handful of you on this list. I'm seeing Rust. I'm seeing Teamfight Tactics. I'm seeing League of Legends. Are there any of these that you're actually still playing?
Yeah, Rust, Teamfight Tactics, League of Legends, Brawl Stars. Yeah, I'm playing all of them.
Okay.
They've all been out for a while.
Okay. what is keeping you coming back to these? Let's start with let's do Teamfight Tactics. I feel like that's the one I hear the most about from you.
So fun fact about TFT, Teamfight Tactics. Today's its birthday. 4 years of Teamfight Tactics. They're already on set 9. It's got a huge following.
Jeez, 4 years.
4 years. And the game keeps updating. The developers are amazing. They keep up with the game. They love poking fun. They love poking fun with like pro players that play the game. It's just they're great. It's a great game.
Poking fun. What are they doing with those pro players? Are they like
So
are they
there's
pantsing them in the hallway and saying loser?
something like that. So there was a clip I think last year or a couple months ago where Mort Dog, which is the lead developer of Teamfight Tactics, he came into a Discord chat with two notorious pro players, and he pulled a mom joke on them, and then just like bounced. It was the craziest thing ever.
Oh, you mean like a dad joke, but a mom?
No, like he's like, oh yeah, I did this, but with your mom, and then just bounced. Like he just left. Like
He said he was doing his mom. That's very
yeah, yeah.
Hey, love the community. Love
Yeah,
the
it's
one
great.
you're with. Okay, so then what about League of Legends? I know they've had auxiliary stuff outside of it with like the popularity of their shows. They've had games that are like story-based games around League of Legends, but what specifically about League itself?
Well, I mean, it's the biggest source of entertainment. Worlds, MSI, just a ton of teams playing uh, the game that people like support and represent. Like and it's been like that since the game came out. It's so fun. Playing with friends, it's fun.
Okay, same question, Brawl Stars.
So Brawl Stars being a handheld game, I want to say it's kind of Supercell's the developer. It's their go-to game for esports. I mean, yes, they have Clash of Clans, but when it comes to like anything like exciting to watch, it's Brawl Stars.
And then Rust.
Oh, Rust is just it's fun with friends. It's being creative. It's being updated monthly. Uh, it's it's kind of like your sandbox survivor game. It's gotten more PvP than it has survivor, but it's still entertaining, especially in the YouTube community. Watching what people do that you didn't really think of, make it interesting. And like Twitch Rivals has been huge. It's a huge event, a huge game for Twitch Rivals. Again, a bunch of just huge content creators, big names that everyone knows, and going toe to toe, and it's just fun content.
Josh, Genshin Impact. They
Yeah,
got you,
so
right?
not to what you think, Nick. No. Really there's they're working on banner 4. Or it's like server 4.3. Yeah, I think it's 4.3. Let's face it, yes, did it copy Breath of the Wild? Yes. But you got to give them credit. They took a working formula and keep growing on it, and it's still growing. It's one of the more bigger free to game plays, right behind the rest of them. Like all of the Hoyoverse games. Star Rail just came out last month, or was it April? I think it was April. Came out in April. You have Third Impact. You've got Genshin Impact. I mean, literally, they clearly know what they're doing. They're spacing themselves out with all these different genres, and they're succeeding.
But what about Genshin Impact? Like, did they add any Star Rail characters to Genshin? Did they add any building to Genshin? If we're talking about ripping off Zelda stuff.
Well, right, but yeah, so yes, they're not intermingling just yet because Star Rail is still fairly new. They got to flesh out their own world.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they've added so many new. I think this year alone, they've already added 2 new characters, or 2 new playable people. They keep adding on to the story. There's more land or more area to explore now. More quest. I mean, what is there not to like about it? Genshin Impact.
All right. So let's see.
Nick,
here.
here's the more important question, Nick. I just want to tackle this right now because I know this is your love child. Fortnite.
Hey, I like Fortnite.
All right. So the case for Fortnite on this list, the case for Fortnite, Your Honor, is that they just started. I forget. I think it's Chapter 4, Season 3. They are playing around. It's more the meta right now is more sniper heavy. There's a what's it called, like a thermal DMR. There's also they brought the heavy sniper back. Shotguns are kind of all over. They got rid of the John Wick shotgun, as I like to call it. I think it's the combat. Now they have the drum shotgun, which has been broken in the past, but it feels like it's in a really good spot right now.
It's fun.
The augments came out this year, which added a little more variety. I'm not the biggest fan of them because I feel like a lot of the augments are useless. A lot of them right now seem to be ammo dependent. They added a new mechanic. There's mud, so you can get covered in mud and it makes you more slippery. The new areas are jungle heavy, so it doesn't really have a summer vibe. Like when you think back to like the past summer seasons, last season was more of a kind of a festival vibe. I want to say the one in 2020 was when the world was flooded. I can't speak for 2021 because I wasn't there. Another thing that it is doing, they brought back mounts. So they brought back wolves and boars, but they also brought in raptors, which were really cool. The jumping in there is weird on it, but also the season passes just keep hitting. So this one right now, I think the level 100 is Megatron, right?
Optimus.
Optimus, sorry. Optimus Prime. The season before that, or 2 seasons ago, I think it was Spider-Gwen. Last season, they had some Attack on Titan stuff. I don't know Attack on Titan.
Eren Yeager.
They've got Witcher 3 in there. They had Geraldo. They had Geralt in there 2 seasons ago. They've got Ciri and Yennefer in there right now. They're purchasable, but still, it's pretty cool. And then they did the redesign of the map. The last 2, and I'm going on, I know, but the last 2 metas were very mobile heavy. So like you had the I think it was called like the Warhammer that you could swing around and move. And then last season they had the Katana, which you could like swipe into the air and ride. Now they don't really have a weapon that you can ride. The big new weapon is a boomerang, which is great if you're playing a team game and the team is like bunched up, it'll bounce off of people. But there's really, the only way to traverse is either a mount or a car. So I feel like they're trying to get back into vehicles and getting around that isn't a weapon. Ways of getting around that isn't a weapon. But I think Fortnite's in a really good spot. It's a game. I mean, I just played a few rounds before we hopped on for this episode. So I think it stays. Same for Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap is one of those games. They have it's a monthly season pass. So the cost of it adds up. I've bought every season pass since October.
I believe that's called a gotcha.
That is
right?
not a gotcha.
No, it's not gotcha.
It's not a gotcha.
How much do you spend a month, Nick?
$10.
Do you know how much I spent on Genshin Impact?
How much? You said $5. At one point you said $5. I
I
feel
said
like
Star Rail.
Okay, all right, but still, it doesn't matter.
difference.
Marvel Snap, they are continuously balancing the game. I know people really hated people dropping Galactus. There was a Galactus combo, and I forget who else was involved in it. But the developers have balanced that out. They're also constantly adding new cards. They're reworking how you can gain cards. So they have a tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. New cards are tier 5. And you can buy them with this token you can earn playing the game. You can also get them through the collection levels. You guys are aware of what those are, right? Where every time you boost a card, like let's say you have a rare card and you turn it into an epic card, you get 2 points, you climb up.
Right.
You can get them through that. Tier 5s are way harder to get that way. You also get a free tier 3 deck tier 3 card every season. And cards, so like they may start out tier 5 or 4, but they'll move them down to 3 eventually. So like Ghost was a popular card that people comboed with Shang-Chi. And what Ghost does is, hey, your abilities go last. So like if your turn, every turn, someone's stuff goes first, one's stuff goes second. If you went first and you were going to drop Shang-Chi on that last turn, it wouldn't do you any favors if they dropped a card that he can destroy. So what Ghost does is lets your ability go second. So if they pop a card that you can destroy, it will actually destroy it. Ghost was a tier 5 at one point, I believe. now goes to tier 3. So they really rejuvenated it that way. They just added a new game mode where you go through a list. You have you turn in a ticket and you have to win 3 fights, and that gives you a ticket to the next level. And then you have to win 5 fights, tickets to the next level. That's been a lot of fun. They also added the way to play your friends on there a few months back. That's been fun. I think Marvel Snap has done a lot to stay going, and it's mobile and on Steam. So, it's one of those games where if I'm on the toilet, I can pop in and play a game. I can play Spider-Gwen on the toilet.
You can do that in Genshin Impact too.
True. Looking at this list, I think we can cut Warzone, because if I'm not mistaken, they're killing Warzone 1, right?
I mean, it was supposed to be Warzone 2, but even then, no one really. I mean,
I don't think
the
any of
hardcore
us
fans are playing it.
I don't think any of us are playing it. And again, These are our lists, so I say Warzone's gone. I'm getting rid of it. Going down this list, I'll come back up to Psychonauts 2. Case of the Golden Idol, I don't think this is going to make the cut. I only put it on there because they had a DLC come out recently. I just had the name, Spider. It is the Spider of Lanka. It adds 3 levels where you're guessing stuff. It's basically the same game. They updated the art style a little bit in it, so that was cool. I just wanted to send my appreciation out for it, since it technically came out at the end of 2022. But with the DLC, I'm still considering it a continuing game, but I'm willing to get rid of it. And then Nobody Saves the World. This was my baby last year. This came out January 2022. They had a DLC come out this January, or they had a free add-on come out this January, I believe, where they added I think it was called the Impossible Dungeon, or where is it? I had it on here. It is called Impossible. Hey, I was right. Impossible Dungeon, and it was free. And it added a carnival-themed endless dungeon, which I thought was a lot of fun. I played it a little bit. I haven't touched it in months, but that's why I'm willing to let it go. And then the last game for me to defend up here, Psychonauts 2. So I was on paternity leave February to the middle of May. The middle of April, I believe. And Psych Odyssey came out. That was the documentary, the in-house documentary about the development of Psychonauts 2. And it is actually something I'm still watching. So there are 36 episodes, and the length of them vary. But just to relive that game through a documentary that's 36 episodes long, and kind of relive the pieces of time that they went through on it, is weird. I just got to the COVID episode, and it kind of hit me oh fuck, that was that March of 2020 was rough. And to see them going through that, and to see everybody separating in that office to go on their own, it hits. And I played a little bit of Psychonauts 2 when it came out, but it makes me want to go back to it.
Yeah, I'm going to say cut it.
Got it.
Fine, I'll cut it.
And Nick, I'll make a sacrifice too. I'll make a sacrifice for you too, Nick. Battlefield 2042. It doesn't make the cut. Snap that bitch out.
Why doesn't it make the cut? Why?
Well, see, the fact that it took them practically 2 years to even get their shit together. I mean, look at games like Rust, Marvel Snap, Fortnite, where they actually listen to their communities way ahead of their time. It just doesn't make the cut.
All right. It took them time to get there. Get the fuck out of your Battlefield.
Yep. Maybe next year.
Jake, you got 20 games on here.
Yep, I know. You could cut League of Legends. The game is toxic once you get the rank.
Didn't they cut global chat though?
No, global chat's still in there.
I could have sworn they cut global chat, the big chat with everybody in it. No, there's a main menu chat that they cut right around the time Arcane and Players was coming out.
So what they did was, I don't think they cut the chat, because you can still chat in it. What they did is it hides the names of players.
Oh, okay.
It gives them other names. So they really cut it.
So basically, it's streamer mode.
It bans them for saying gamer words. All right, taking League off. All right, so what we have left on this list, we have 6 left. We got to get down to 3. Best continuing game, we've got Fortnite, Marvel Snap, Genshin Impact, Rust, Teamfight Tactics, and Brawl Stars. Between Fortnite and Marvel Snap, if I had to pick one staying, I think it would be Marvel Snap.
And what would that be?
Why would that be?
Yeah.
Just because the game, they continued to update the game. This is something that could have this blew up back in October. This could have easily died in the last few months, and it's still going.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's getting stale. The gameplay, like for those who haven't played Marvel Snap, it's a card battler. You have the 3 different areas that you play your cards. You got to win by having the most points in them. The 3 areas always have like a different effect, and it's always random. Every game can be different. And yeah, there's a meta, but I don't hardly ever see anyone playing the meta at my level, which is like in the 50s. So, what are we cutting here, guys?
I mean,
Genshin. No, cut Brawl Stars.
Why Brawl Stars over the other 2 you have on here?
So TFT you could play on PC and mobile. It's a chill game, whereas Brawl Stars, it can kind of get frustrating playing with randoms. It's a grind. It's very grindy. Especially when you want to get all the characters and stuff, all the power-ups. Like, it's either you pay money or you grind your ass off.
So we're taking Brawl Stars off?
Yeah.
I think we can get rid of Genshin Impact.
Why are we is it
No,
just
there's
not,
reasons.
There's reasons?
So, well, so like I said with the Hoyoverse, they have branched out. They're trying to like touch basically every genre at this point, or trying to get there. And I think with like people who are still like corner humping Breath of the Wild, and all the new people who are just grinding in Tears of the Kingdom, there's not. I mean, Genshin Impact is like a good in between, but really, realistically, you're either a hardcore fan and have been playing it since close to day one, and I don't think they're going to bring everybody else new in, because at this point, you're only going to have your hardcore fans in the Reddit community, basically. And it's going to be the same thing as Star Rail here in the next year. I mean, I hope I stick with it because I'm absolutely enjoying it. But am I going to guarantee new people are playing it? No.
With them branching out into Honkai and other games, do you feel like Genshin has lost some steam moving forward?
I don't think it's lost steam. I just think that the like, so like you ever see like those mobile ads where they're like, oh, this is our 10 millionth download, basically. Like, what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You get to that point eventually, and then like, what else is there? You're just basically going to make money on the people who are still there, and the ads you can put in for the people who are like, oh, I need to get like 30 points or whatever, or free life or whatever.
I mean, does it feel like they're still adding stuff to Genshin Impact, or is it kind of
they? I mean, they are, but that's not all you need to be a best continuing game. You also have to have the community there, and let's face it, you're gonna always have 2 sides always arguing what's better for the game itself, and it's only going to be those who are loyal. It's not going to be like Nick. If I told you right now, dude, you should totally play Genshin Impact, what's the likelihood of you playing it?
I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go play Fortnite.
My point exactly. You want something because 1, they're constantly adding things, 2, relevancy, and 3, I mean, yeah, you don't have to spend anything in Genshin, but with Fortnite, you can at least work towards something, where with Genshin, the likelihood of you getting something that's worth it is very low.
Well, and when it comes to best continuing game, especially in the multiplayer side, I think the thing that really impacts longevity is the stories that you're telling when you're playing. So I see that across Marvel Snap, I see that across Fortnite, where yes, the central experience is the same. I get gun, I shoot people, blah blah blah. But it's the oh shit, I jumped off the mushroom in this one. I landed by the other team. I was surrounded by them. Pop, pop with the shotgun on 2 of them. They were down. They downed me. My team swooped in, killed the last 2, and we got the Vic Royale. And with them constantly changing things in Fortnite, that is something that really stands out to me. And I think I really just talked myself into Fortnite over Marvel Snap if I was going to get rid of one.
And I'll even do you one better with Genshin Impact. It's just, you don't do you have friends who play Genshin Impact? I sure don't. I have to play randoms all the time. Fortnite, you have friends who play with you. Rust, friends who can play with you. Teamfight Tactics, friends who can play with you. Hell, at some point, Marvel Snap probably will do the same.
I play with friends. I've got some private chats where we send the code so we can play together.
Private chat.
Okay, so then just like that, like we're Genshin Impact, and this is not trying to, push any way away or from playing it or to seem like I don't like it, but I believe it is mainly a South Korean and Japanese game. Like when I get on there, I'm not seeing somebody from the United States currently playing. I get somebody from across the seas playing, which is not a bad thing, but they also that's like their mindset of like that's the game they're going to play. And I guarantee you, if I play with them, their characters are maxed out. They have the best equipment possible, and it's going to be like, remember when you play like Diablo 3, you played with somebody who like had beaten the game 10 times, maxed out all their paragons and stuff like that, and you just started the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially it.
Well, it sounds like on Genshin you're just running into a language barrier no matter what time you play.
Well, it's not even so much of the language barrier part. It's just it's different where like, I maybe have like 5 hours to do something at the end of the day, and maybe I'm only spending like 30 minutes playing it. They're dedicated to like making sure they have like that hour or two to be able to play it, and they're going to constantly play it where I'm constantly switching between games.
So we cutting Genshin?
Cut Genshin.
All right, it's gone. We've got 4 left. We got Fortnite, Marvel Snap, Rust, and Teamfight Tactics.
I would keep Rust. Rust is just like you described Fortnite. It's a lot of storytelling. I mean, like hell, there's a lot of content creators on Rust that tell a lot of great stories.
Wayland, Blueprint. Just name 2 of them, and they're
Yeah,
I love
just
Wayland. I love hearing his stories. I hate playing Rust, but I love hearing his stories.
Yeah, Rust is one of those games where it's like it's more fun to watch than it is to play.
Yes.
But sometimes you just hop in and you're like, okay, I remember why I stopped playing for a bit. The game is it's hard if you don't know what you're doing. Because there's no mercy. Every now and then you might come across someone that's nice, but no mercy.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It seems like there's a lot of system. Whenever I watch it, I'm like, I'm a little overwhelmed here. Like if I jumped in, I'm sure I could learn it. But when I watch it, I'm just like, wow, there seems to be a lot of.
And there's not really a tutorial. I remember picking up the first time, spawned in the middle of the night, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I didn't know how to find rock. I figured out the tree system finally, but even then, like, I don't think I've ever made it past wooden weapons. I don't think I ever made it to guns personally.
Oh, so you're primitive. You're
I was very primitive. Like I got crossbow. Crossbow's the first I got to it.
Josh is
prim locked.
Josh is a fucking caveman. I can't make anything past wood.
Wood go boom. Fire.
Wood go boom. So it sounds like we're between cutting Marvel Snap and Teamfight Tactics.
Yes.
Jake, what's your case for Teamfight?
I mean, they're on set 9. They're doing great. They have a world's tournament that's diverse to the whole world.
But what about you? What about you, my dude?
Oh, I love it.
What do you love? Like, Jake, elaborate. How does that
what
make
I
you
love
feel?
about it?
Yeah.
It's yeah, they have new seasons that make the game like so fresh. They make updates probably every 2 or 3 weeks. There's actually a list that the devs have of when the next update is going to be, so you know when to prepare. And they'll do like snapshots of changes, buffs, nerfs, all that stuff, adjustments. They're really statistically they give you that awareness of like what to expect in the game.
Okay, I'm hearing what they're doing, but like, what are you enjoying about it? Because if we look at Fortnite, Marvel Snap, and Rust, we've had the conversation about like what we're enjoying about them when we're playing them. What are you enjoying about Teamfight Tactics when you were playing it?
So Teamfight Tactics, when I'm playing it, what I enjoy about it, it's freshness. Each game is a new game.
This is like auto chess, right?
Yeah. So you have no idea how your board's going to be impacted because like the shops are different. Like the game's not going to give you the same thing every every time you play.
So I have to interject, Jake. All 4 games that are on this list, you just described.
Well,
Every
'cause
game's going to be different.
because they're all different games.
But my point being, you said every single game you play is different. It's always fresh. Well, not every Fortnite game goes exactly the same. Not every Marvel Snap game goes the same. Not every Rust server you get on it is the same. They're all different. And you're always going to experience it differently.
I'm just waiting for you to sell me Teamfight Tactics over Marvel Snap or Fortnite.
So Nick's still playing Marvel Snap. Josh, do you still play Marvel Snap?
I do not.
I still play Teamfight Tactics. I know you guys don't play Teamfight Tactics.
Well, and I don't want it to come down to like, well, who's going to be the better arguer here? I just want to hear like why you would take Teamfight Tactics over Marvel Snap. Besides the fact that they keep updating it and you keep playing it because I mean, like Josh said, you could make that case for all of these.
You're right. But I mean, I see Marvel Snap being, everyone knows Marvel characters, everyone knows superhero characters, whatever. I don't know.
Here, since I'm the odd man out, since I took all mine out, I'll do it like this. So, based on my own opinion and what I've seen in the past, 6 months, I see and hear a lot more now of Teamfight Tactics than I did Marvel Snap. I feel like Marvel Snap was just a phase, and they're trying to make it more of something that it isn't. As far as like, they were at the Summer Game Fest. In my opinion, that was a waste of time.
So fucking weird.
It was. I mean, how old was it at that point?
Well, I mean, it's been in testing for over a year, but it came out October, so at that point, it was 8 months old, 1.0.
And all they really did was introduce one game mode, and even then,
I'm okay with cutting Marvel Snap because I'm tired of seeing it everywhere else. I'm tired of seeing Marvel and everything, and I just kind of want to stomp them out like a little fucking cockroach. Like if they could reskin it to be like The Witcher or something else, I'd be like, yes, Snap all day. This is winning the category. But I'm okay with taking Marvel Snap away if you guys are okay with taking it away.
I'm totally fine with
Yeah,
it.
that's fine.
It's a great game. I love it. I'm just not crazy about Marvel. So we've got Fortnite, Rust, and Team Tactics. How are we ordering these? Who is taking? Because I not just because I play it every other day, but I feel like Fortnite is like leading the pack when it comes.
It is.
Like you see all these live games shutting down, and like seriously, I was on and we've got a category coming up for it later on, but I was on a list of all the live games that shut down in the last 8 months. And it's funny because you look at those and like a lot of those were trying to implement things that Fortnite does really well.
No, I will give it to Fortnite. It's definitely, at least in front of these 3, it's definitely ahead of the game. They've implemented so many changes. The relevancy is high. I mean, between switching from Marvel to Star Wars to anime and manga, like they know what they're doing. I will give them credit.
Oh, they're anime as fuck right now. Like anime every other day, it's a new anime on there. I don't know shit about Teamfight. The ODM gear was sweet as hell, but I don't know shit about Attack on Titan. I almost called it something else. But yeah, ODM was sweet.
Yeah, so I will agree. Fortnite being number 1.
I would say Fortnite, Rust. I
think it's
great
ordered
where it's at,
perfectly.
yeah.
So we like this order: Fortnite, Rust, Teamfight Tactics.
Yes, I think Rust will never move to anything else other than maybe a new multiplayer game that outdoes it. But even then, I think it's going to be at least another year or 2 before we see that.
All right. So
Rust is also on console now.
I did not know that. So I'm going to read this for the folks at home. We've got best continuing games so far of 2023. Fortnite with Rust and Teamfight Tactics bringing up the rear. Guys, that was a good little debate there. Good little debate. All right, up next, are you guys ready to get your listening ears on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, up next is best song. We've got a handful of things here. We're just going to run down the list in order. We'll click on them. We've got the audio all figured out, so pardon our dust here while we make sure everything works properly. I've got 2 off the top here. Actually, I'm going to read all these off, and then we'll come back. So the nominees for best song are Atone with the song Atonement and A Terrible Secret. It's 2 separate songs. We've got Blanc with Glissades is the song. We've got Dredge with 2 songs, The Periphery and The Doldrums. We've got The Last Spell with Commander's theme. We've got The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom main theme. That's going to be a contender, I feel like. Back Firewall underscore with 2 songs in the self-entitled Back Firewall and then main stage. Chained Echoes main theme. We've got Trance from Humanity, Dave the Diver Deep. Josh has Final Fantasy 16 on here with the battle theme and Typhone in double brackets. Watch out. Double brackets are a threat there. Atomic Heart with Stoyet Devjonki, very Russian. Lil Gator game with Forest. Street Fighter 6 versus Screen theme. Topang 2 Serenity. Hi-Fi Rush Making Things Is Hard. And Melatonin Work. We got a lot of songs to go through here, guys. Are your ears ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you guys have them playing on your computer, or are you going to be listening through mine?
I was going to listen to yours.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So here, first up, we've got a Tone. A Tone is a music adventure game that came out earlier in the year. So I think I got a terrible secret right here. And pardon my dust, some of these are the same video coming through. Like, we have to click around on it. So this is a terrible secret. This takes place during a fight where you're fighting someone that you know, and like this big old I don't want to spoil it for anyone that plans on playing it, but you're defending someone's life and like you're hitting the buttons while you're playing this. Let me let it play out for you. Yeah, so this game, the way it's playing out, it's like a Guitar Hero Light. You've got these 4 buttons you got to be hitting and keeping up with the beat. You got a fight going on in the background. The way the fight plays out, it plays out based on how you're doing with the button presses. So like if you're fucking up, the enemy hits you. If you are doing well, you hit the enemy. This is all told through Norse mythology, so it's very like hyperlight. It kind of has a hyperlight drifter vibe to it. That is a fight, and then I've also got another song on here. Let me pull it up. Okay, so here is the final boss fight. You're fighting the demon that killed your father. Not really spoilers because he dies pretty early in the game. This shit was so fucking hard, by the way.
Probably for you, old man.
Let me skip ahead a few. Yeah, so those are the songs from Atone. Great game, great music. The music was obviously a highlight of the whole experience. I'm okay with keeping Atonement for now and getting rid of A Terrible Secret. I think of the two, Atonement is the better song.
That's fine.
Yep.
All right, another one from earlier in the year. This is Blanc. This was the adventure that Josh and I tried to play together on stream multiple times, twice. That didn't go through. This is the baby fawn, and the deer, and then the wolf pup running through the world together. This soundtrack was hard to find, but I pulled up. So the song is called Glissades, and so there's a part about the halfway point where you get into an abandoned village, and it's snow covered, and you guys just slide down the hill. That's it. It's a beautiful moment. I think the music really, really just is great with the moment in the game. I'm going to play it for you. And I picked that one just because I feel like it picks it. It gives us, that's the feel of the game, a good majority of it. Like there are some dire moments where the music's very heavy, but that picks up on it. It's just so peaceful, like the rest of the experience with the game for the most part.
For the most part.
I mean, it's cute, but
Suck out.
All right, I'm okay with cutting it. I'm not trying to cut them one by one, but here's a favorite of mine. So Dredge is the Lovecraftian fishing game that came out. I want to say it was back in March. Kind of has like a Wind Waker look to it. I picked out there's a handful of great songs on this soundtrack. I picked out 2 that really stand out. I don't really have a moment that these 2 like invoke, but they play randomly while you're out exploring the world, and you can just kind of get a feel for the world that you're in. So this first one's called Parafree. And these are actually back to back. So here's this other one. This is the Doldrums. If it'll start. Just great piano on both of these, especially this one right here. Reminds me I want to go back and finish Dredge. I haven't finished it. It's great. Those if there was one game, by the way, a side note, if there's one game I could tell you guys to play, it would be Dredge. Moving on, the last spell is it's a tactics game, right? You'd say it's a tactics game, Josh.
I would
right?
say.
Yeah. So this one is a recent addition to the list. I picked up this game to review. I had the main menu just sitting there, and I went upstairs to take care of some stuff. I came back down, and this song was just blaring. And you know what? I wasn't mad about it. This is Commander's theme. It's the main theme of the game. Oh, it's great. It's great.
It's a banger.
Must speed it up just a little bit. So it's got like this sense of wonder and incoming panic, incoming chaos.
So I thought about it. You know what this theme reminds me of more and more each time I hear it?
I was gonna guess like a mix of Doom / Castlevania, maybe.
It gave me very much a Castlevania Bloodlines, actually.
Okay, all right, I can hear it, and it's stuck in my head. And the rest of the soundtrack is great, but this is like the standout, and the fact that they open with it.
It's a banger for sure.
It just gets you ready for what's coming, and it's a game where there's really no hope. Like they start you like you're defending, you're trying to end magic in the world. So you've got a wizard in your town, like trying to set the last spell to end magic, and you've got all these magical beings and undead beings trying to stop you, and they outnumber you. After a certain point, you get a number of the enemies that you still need to kill, and you only have, I think, the most you can have is 4 characters, and you have some defenses that help you, but otherwise it's like 4 against 200 sometimes. And the music just really does a good job of capturing that. Moving on. I mean, we have to play this one, right?
I mean, yeah, almost by law we're required to.
This is the one that might get the video shut down by Nintendo, but we're going to play it, damn it. All right, so we've got the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This is the main theme, the one everyone went bonkers for. I didn't know they had all these voicing accompaniments in the beginning. Because everyone's going crazy for the saxophone in this, right? More than anything.
Yeah.
That part is really fucking good. All right, I'm gonna stop it. That was a full minute. I think it stays for now. I forgot the.
That was awful.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think that's the reason, right? Copyrighted.
Sounded good in
Yeah.
my ears. We're gonna capture that. I've got two right here. Back Firewall is a first-person adventure game where you are in a cell phone trying to stop an update. You're working with the software because it doesn't want to become obsolete. Beautiful game about letting go and our push to advance and how crazy that is. This is the main theme, and the thing I like about this main theme is they have like a chill version later on that just it's an ambient version that plays in like a lounge. Let me turn this up. And it's got this sadness to it. It also feels like I don't know, it feels like you're kind of like in a field. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm in a Kia commercial right now, bobbing my head with you guys.
I kind of feel like this is like a Vice City remake.
Let me skip forward a little bit. And there's like this game, this is one of the saddest games I've played this year. Like it's got the humor of Portal in it, but it's also got all this meta cell phone humor going on throughout it. But it was so fucking sad, and I just did not expect it to be that sad. And then the other song, the other song comes in a really cool moment in the game. The song is called Main Stage. It comes at, I forget exactly what you're doing. I think you're looking for someone or something in a nightclub. And so in this nightclub, you have these headphones. You guys know what a silent disco is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where you put on the headphones and you have to tune into like one of the 3 channels.
Yeah.
So basically that's what you're doing. But when you change to one of the channels, it changes the song, but also changes like the area around you that you can navigate. It like reveals the platforms. Really fucking cool moment. And I forgot how good the song was. Let me play this for you. I'm gonna skip ahead. Kind of feels like a John Wick club scene right here. There we go. That's back Firewall. That was a really fun game. I want to say that was back in March or April. I'm okay with cutting main stage. I think the main theme for back Firewall can stay right now, though.
Yeah,
can agree.
yeah, cut main stage.
That was still a really cool moment, though. Chained Echoes. This game came out mid-December, late December. This is old school RPG with the sprites. Your characters are bad guys in the beginning. This is the main theme. Let's play this. So it does the thing that RPGs do when you open the menu. It starts out very slow, very but then it really like takes off. It kind of just like, hey, this world is mysterious. Here's an adventure. I don't think it hangs, but I did like it. It was always something that I looked forward to when I booted up the game. From your silence, I'm guessing it doesn't stay.
I mean, it sticks
like
out,
it.
but
I like
it's
it
not.
over. I like it over the Dredge.
You like it over the Dredge games?
Yep.
I'd agree.
All right, we'll keep that. We'll keep that in mind. Moving on, we've got Humanity. This is the game where you are the little dog spirit guiding people. The puzzle game. This is one of the songs that stood out to me. A lot of harmonizing in it. You'll hear it here in a minute. You know what? When I first heard this, you know what it reminded me of? Pokemon Gold and Silver, when you get into the town of the unknown or into the cave, and the sprites kind of like, you can kind of hear this in the sprites soundtrack.
See, I was kind of thinking Final Fantasy VII when you make it to
The where Aerith dies.
yes, Forgotten City.
I always called that Fish Town because wasn't there a giant fish you could run through?
Yeah, the skeleton that you go up to, and then you there's a little piece or like a little puzzle at the top. You can press a button and it takes you to one of the secret chambers.
Yeah, Forgotten City will always be Fish Town to me. I like this. I don't see it sticking around with other stuff.
No, I mean it's definitely different and cool. It's just there's so. I mean, honestly, this is and this is just personal opinion. You guys can agree or disagree, but this is such a huge category, and it takes so long to go through all of them. They're all fantastic in their own way, but we got to get this down to what, 3?
Yep. So I'm okay with cutting Humanity. I really like that. That was Trance, by the way, for those wondering. This next one's also a new addition, but I think it's strong. I think it's really strong because I've only played an hour of the game, and I don't know, man. It's one of those games where I was like, okay, this is gonna be stupid, but I've totally bought into the characters. I've totally bought into the world. The music is great. This is from Dave the Diver. The song is called Deep. It's just got this relaxing vibe, like, hey, you're about to go fishing. And, I don't like Stardew Valley, but there's something about this game that has already sucked me in. It might be Dave.
Nick, have you always wanted to dive into the ocean?
Not after the sub stuff that's been going on, no. Ocean fucking terrifies me.
Well, as long as you're not a millionaire, you're okay.
Well, then I should be fine for the rest of my life. You guys obviously aren't gelling with this. I get it. Nope. It's the new kid on the block. Maybe Dave will get his day on GOTY in December. I'm deleting. Josh, set these next two up.
Yeah, so Final Fantasy 16 just came out as of last week of this recording. And there's 2 themes so far. What I've played, there's 2 themes that are just fantastic. One, of course, that at this point of all the Final Fantasies, everybody has the battle theme, and the battle theme is fantastic. So this is the main theme that comes up when you're in a fight that is not considered a boss fight. Oh, and there is a spoiler warning for those who are watching visually. Not for this first one, but the next song.
I just gotta say, I'm getting kind of like Final Fantasy VIII vibes when you're like doing that whole pursuit with the robot spider.
Oh yeah, the XDR whatever.
Just the way the music is playing into it.
Yeah. You like the femboys?
He stepped on the stick and then everybody looked back at him. I'm sorry.
The music's there. It's epic.
I mean, yeah, you have to give credit where credit is due.
I like it. Let's listen to this other one. So set this other one up.
Okay, so one of the big themes for Final Fantasy 16 is the icons. So basically, for those who don't know what icons, those are the summonings, basically. So essentially, people are granted these gifts, and they're basically used as war machines of war. And this one particularly is Ifrit versus Typhoon, who's basically like the summoning of water. And this is their fight. And which is why I said spoilers for those who are watching visually.
I love that design of Ifrit, by the way.
Oh, dude, he says the F word.
This is terrifying. I like that. Is there boss music, Josh? You mentioned the boss music, and now you can't like leave us hanging.
So there is, but it's a little different. So essentially, with the icons, there's like each one has their own theme, basically.
Okay, so there's no like set in stone boss music.
I mean, there is. It's just not as grand as the individual icon fights or the battle theme, in my opinion.
Okay. I think those are both strong contenders and can stay, don't you, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake, you're so enthusiastic. Next up, Atomic Heart. Played a little bit of this earlier this year. I had to like struggle to remember it, so that probably is not going to hold strong for it. This is the standout from when I was researching. Let me pull this up. I'm actually going to fast forward. Very Russian. And this track is called, let me pronounce it. Yeah, Stoyet Devzhonki?
Yeah, close enough.
I don't think it sticks. I just wanted to point that one out. I thought it was fun. Give Atomic Heart its Stay in the Light, because I don't think it's going to get its Stay in the Light in any other categories, really. So I'm okay with taking Atomic Heart off. Little Gator Game. This came out late December, so it made the cut.
Just barely.
Just barely. So this is the Breath of the Wild like. That's that's going to become a genre, by the way.
That already is a genre at this point,
right? But you know how like we have like Metroidvania.
Well, it's like you get the Souls games, like the Souls genre. It's going to be its own thing.
The Breath of the Wild likes. This is forest, so the music changes as you enter the different areas. You have like the mountains, the forest, you have the fields. This is and each song, so like it's called Forest, but it'll change as you go through different sections of it. Forest was the standout here. It's a cute little game. It's whimsical. It's whimsical. Hey, any song where they beat Lincoln Logs together, you've got me.
I'm not feeling the forest.
This song just makes me want to take my top off and dance to it.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, it's very, very kid friendly, in my opinion.
This will, like, I know I play bees and trombone champ with Gus, but this will probably be like when he's ready to start playing on his own. This will probably be the first game I let him do that with. It's cute. It's a cute game.
Not Fortnite?
Not Fortnite, sadly, no. Okay, Jake wasn't feeling it, so we're gonna cut Little Forest Gator game.
I'm feeling it.
This next one's gonna be a little harder to cut. This is the Street Fighter 6 versus screen theme. So when you are playing 1v1, you both pick a fighter. They both like say something to each other, and then they walk out the gate to this video we have is a supercut of the 3 different ones that can play. But it's so catchy, and I was reading the comments on this YouTube video, and someone pointed out like, "Hey, this is gonna slap at Evo," and I was like, "Yeah, it is. It's 100% going to slap at Evo." So this is the versus screen theme. It's on.
I feel like it like you would think it. 'Cause I just watched all 3 Creeds recently, and I feel like you would hear this song in Creed.
Well, Creed 3 is very like I haven't seen Creed 3, but I remember hearing a lot of people saying that it's very anime influenced.
Yeah.
Like you can feel the anime influence just oozing from it. I think this is a strong contender because again, this is going to be the fighting game for a while. Mortal Kombat 1 and Tekken 8 might come and take a little bit of the people away, but I feel like this is going to be the thing for a little while, at least in the fighting game scene.
Oh, I agree.
So yeah, we'll keep it.
We'll keep it. Another one is a newcomer. I'm reviewing Topang 2 here. I think it's either Topang 2 or Topang Squared. I don't know. This is, you guys remember Fear and Fear 2?
Yep.
This is not a spiritual successor, but this is Fear. This is Fear. So the game opens, you are like an agent that has been captured, and you guys know Clockwork Orange, where they're like erasing his mind with like the videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. You're basically doing that, but someone breaks in and like is snapping necks. They're there to break you out, and this song is playing while that is happening, and it really stood out. It's really catchy. It's kind of haunting too. So let me play that for you. This is called Serenity. And yeah, so this is playing while someone is, you can't see them. All you see is their point of view, and they're snapping necks, stabbing guys to death. It kind of gave me, remember Metal Gear Solid when Grey Fox is running through, just killing dudes in that hallway?
Yeah.
Kind of gave me vibes like that, and I think the music really played into that. this is so new. Like seriously, I've been playing it the past week. I think it'll be around for a little bit. I'm okay with cutting it here.
Yeah, I would say like, just like maybe like the song would probably go like it'd be great if it was added to the action and whatnot. But all we're doing is hearing the song.
Yeah, I see that. And
Uh,
I was sitting there like, man, this would be way cooler if they could see what was like, if they could actually see the scene that it's playing with. So I totally get that. I do think a little bit of it goes into, hey, would I listen to this away from the game?
yeah,
But yeah, in that context, it's great. And you know what? I still have to experience the rest of the game. There might be another banger on there. So Topang will have its day, just not today. Hi-Fi Rush, this came out in February. This was the surprise launch. Making Things is Hard is like the secret track. It kind of plays in the credits. It's a sweet little, and Hi-Fi Rush is a game about another game about corporate greed and advancing the human race. I won't get into spoilers because I think it's a game everyone should experience for themselves. But this is the secret song. Oh, let me jump to it.
We somehow made it through all of this. Making things is hard. Things never go as planned. Too many features, not enough time. We want the best, but can only do so much with what we have. So this is what we made. We've never been more proud.
I think it's a touching song. I think as I'm aging and I have children now, I look back at like, what am I doing with my time? What am I making? And it makes me think of this podcast and how I enjoy doing it with you guys. I know I'm getting sappy. I know. But yeah, I like it. Again, I think there are better contenders here.
yep, cut it.
Damn, Jake. Jake's like, oh, you like making shit with me? Get the fuck out of here.
You think we have feelings here? No,
Jake's
no,
like,
we don't have
feelings are
feelings here.
dumb.
And first off, when I clicked on the link, I was listening to the first song on there. I'm like, okay, I get this one, and then you're like, oh, let me skip to it. I'm like, oh, it's not this song.
I did the same thing, honestly.
I think the main theme is good. I don't know. I think the main theme.
Nick got sentimental at the very
I
end.
got. It was between that. It was between the main theme and the song I picked. Now that I know you guys like the main theme, at the end of the year, I'm gonna bring it.
And just by then, you know there's gonna be better songs out there. We're gonna have to shut down.
Well, you know, I was looking back at games I want to play before the end of the year, and I do think Hi-Fi Rush is on there, so it'll still be fresh in my head. Last song I've got here is Work on Melatonin. Melatonin was the beat game where you're sleeping.
Trying to
you're
sleep.
sleeping, and you're doing all these different things. I think people compare it to Rhythm Heaven more than anything. This is a song where you're dreaming about being at work, and all the musical cues are from stuff you would hear in the office. The song is called Work, by the way.
I like it.
I mean, it's catchy.
Based off the dance ability, I'm keeping it for now.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's very catchy. It's definitely one of those like I can honestly see myself putting it on a Spotify playlist and letting it play.
So hey, we made it through the list. Let's see what is. Oh my god, let's see what is left.
We gotta cut some shit out.
We're gonna cut. Let's recap everything and then we'll start making cuts. We've got Atone, the final boss fight. I'm sorry. We've got Atone with Atonement. We've got Dredge with the Paraphree and also the Doldrums. The Last Spell, Commander's theme. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom with their main theme. Backfire Wall with its title track, Backfire Wall. Chained Echoes with its main theme. Final Fantasy 16 with its battle theme and Typhone. Street Fighter 6 with its versus screen theme, and Melatonin with Work.
So I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make an obvious choice, and it's mainly just to save us from any hassle. Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda. There's this. I like
It's gonna get a lot.
It's gonna get a lot, but I don't want to keep making that. I don't want to keep making that a reason. It's not my favorite Zelda theme.
No, there's been better. I will agree.
I think Wind Waker is still one that like top of my mind, like that on outset. Like it sticks out. This, I like the saxophone. I like the vocals, and it doesn't really get me like in the mood for Zelda though.
No, it's good for a trailer, and that was about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut Tears of the Kingdom. We're not doing it to be edgy either. We actually just didn't like it. I think both Dredges can go. Dredge is cool. Yep. Dredge is very atmospheric. I think if you guys both play it, by the time we do it, GOTY at the end of the year, you'll both feel a little differently. So that can go. Atone can also go. That song is awesome, and it really fits the moment. Again, if you haven't experienced it, I don't think it really stands out. I would like Back Firewall and Last Spell to stay here for now.
I agree with Last Spell.
Yeah.
Back Firewall we can keep for now because we can probably get. I mean, honestly, Chained Echoes.
Chained Echoes can go.
Chained Echoes can go because as good as it is, it's just another RPG opening main theme, right?
Yes.
By Chained Echoes, you were good. You were good. We like you.
No, let's just go ahead and dub down Final Fantasy 16. I personally like Typhoon better than Battle Theme.
See, I think I like Battle Theme better.
Yeah, I like Battle Theme more.
Okay, well then you're a Typhoon. That's fine.
Well, what's
I like both.
What do you like? What is more pleasing about Typhoon than the battle music for you?
I think it's just it has that little bit of retro, but also has that modernized like techno almost feeling to it.
Techno? I don't remember.
I don't know about techno.
Let me pull that.
Okay, maybe not techno, but like dubstep, maybe, I guess technically.
Yeah, I can kind of hear the dub.
Yeah. I can go with Battle Theme. That's fine. Either way, I figure we knock down one because the other needs the legs to stand on.
You know, now that I'm hearing it again, I think I like Typhoon.
God damn it.
Let me restart Battle Theme. Hold on. Yeah, see, I like Battle Theme.
Well then Battle Theme stays.
Okay, just real quick. Watch this moment where he steps on the stick real quick.
Nick, you're like every dad who laughed at the Incredibles where Mr. Incredible throws the coconut at the guard.
Yeah, it's dumb moments like that.
Me and Andy, just real quick side note. One day, me and Andy were talking about Disney movies, and I brought up how Dad laughed at that, and she goes, "Oh my god, my dad did the same thing." And I said, "Did he go back and just like replay it like multiple times?" And she goes, "Like, oh my god, yes." It's like it's just a universal dad thing, apparently.
All right, we've got 5 left. 5 left. We got the Last Spell Commander's theme, Back Firewall, Final Fantasy 16 Battle Theme, Street Fighter 6 Versus Screen Theme, and Melatonin Work.
So Street Fighter 6, like you said, they're going to be playing at every esports event. Like you get someone on the main stage, they're going to play that. When esports, when the casters are about to go on break, they're going to play that. Like it's going to stick around for a while.
That's gonna pop. Like I want to be watching Evo when that pops up. Like the first time that comes up, I want to hear the cheers. I'm so excited for that.
So I think that's
yeah, I think it needs to stay on. I don't think it's number 1 personally, but I do agree it probably needs to stay on. See, this is where I'm torn. They are all fantastic, but I think Melatonin and Back Firewall.
What about them?
They need to be cut.
Let me say my piece. I think Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16 are great. I don't think either of them are number 1.
What's your number 1, Nick?
Right now, I'm split between Back Firewall and Commander's theme.
See, I agree with Commander's theme. I think that's number 1 personally.
Yeah, I do.
I can agree to that much right now that it definitely was After Nick showed it to us, like I was like, God damn, this is good. It actually makes me want to buy The Last Spell.
I looked at it. It's $30.
I'm willing to drop. I mean, just for that soundtrack alone, like that was fucking. I mean, it's awesome.
It's a bang. It is a banger.
It's a fucking
It's
banger.
a fucking banger. And as
Like
much as
you don't need a compelling gameplay, you don't need a great story. You just give me a fucking badass fucking theme like that, and I'm sold.
so I'm okay with cutting work. I'm still on the fence about Back Firewall just because that is it just catches it so well. But I mean, the other three on here are strong contenders. The Last Spell just immediately sells you on what you're about to play.
Yes.
Final Fantasy 16, it's battle like Final Fantasy is known for its battle theme, so you had to come strong with that. And that was as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Yep, this is a battle theme from Final Fantasy." And then Street Fighter 6, like going like you're already hyped to get into a fight, but just the way they play that, and then you know what they do? They play that. Your characters walk out in their special way, and then they do like a face off where their heads are both there, and you can move their heads to like interact. And it builds up to the fight so well. I'm okay. You know, I'm okay with letting go of Back Firewall. It's great. I think everyone should play that game. It's a fun little story. Let me get all these on the screen at the same time together. Do we agree with the order? Last Spell, Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6?
I would agree.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
That's
what Street Fighter has going against it is that it's only like a little snippet of a song. Like
And even then, it's going to get overplayed. Like, not in a bad way, but I think it's going to be the song everybody uses for everything.
do you think by the end of the year we'll be like, oh fuck this
Yes.
song?
Yes.
I
No, I
wanna
wouldn't even say by the
play.
end of the year. I will say by this time next year, I'm going to be like, please let something from Tekken 8 have taken over, or even Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I think Tekken 8 will probably have some bangers.
I know that's what I'm saying. I want something that they have to take over.
All right, so hey, I think we've landed at best song, with the best song being Commander's theme from The Last Spell. Coming in under it is the battle theme from Final Fantasy 16 and the versus screen theme from Street Fighter 6. Congrats, guys. Our ears thank you for those glorious, glorious tunes. All right, guys, it's time for our last category of the day. Remakiest Remake, aka Best Remake, Best/Remaster. We've only got a few here, but I imagine there'll be a lot to talk about. Let's get right into the list. For Remakiest Remake, we've got Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, Metroid Prime Remastered, Advance Wars 1 and 2, The Last of Us Part 1, and System Shock.
Okay, so we'll start from the top. Resident Evil 4. So are we going to throw in any spoiler alerts for anybody who either one hasn't played the original or two played these? Or are we good to just go full ham?
Just go full ham. I'll put spoil. Hey, everybody listening. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
There are going to be
yeah, we hear.
spoilers for Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, Metroid Prime Remastered, Advance Wars 1 and 2, The Last of Us Part 1, and System Shock.
Okay, perfect. So Resident Evil 4. Everybody's biggest worry was, is it going to hold up to the 2005 version? Is it going to stick to it in some way? But at the same time, everybody knew that Capcom said they were going to go horror with this one, where Resident Evil 4 is more actiony. And I think they nailed it right on the head of the nail.
See, they say horror, and I look at like the first village scene where like there's a lot more enemies. Is it more just that there are a lot more enemies and not that it's scary? It's just like, oh shit, there's a lot more here for me to handle.
I think it was more in the sense of where when I first played the 2005 Resident Evil 4, I felt like it was a little scary, but I felt like it was easily manageable. I feel like with this one, the AI was a lot smarter, and it was you had to juggle a lot more. So like you couldn't like the old ways that you did things didn't work. It's like the cheese where you could climb up the tower right next to the locked door, constantly going up and then dropping down. As soon as you climb up there, it collapses. As soon as the chainsaw guy comes around the corner, when you're running around, he actually cuts off one of your paths of escape and corners you basically. I mean, all in all, I think it was just the sense of like, you're either one trying to use old tactics from if you played the original, or it was your first time ever touching Resident Evil 4. There was a lot more to juggle, and it wasn't like you could just run around in circles, knife them in the face, kick them. You had to play smart. You had to be consistently moving, doing different things. Ammo management was a bitch, especially in professional mode. I relied so much on the bolt thrower, or the knife thrower, we want to call it in the game. I felt like all in all, it was a much scarier, especially getting into the castle. The castle itself was it was terrifying.
I do love the redesign on the bosses. Salazar is the standout because originally he was a platform fight. You stood on a single platform and shot at him. Now he's like floating around the area. He kind of looks like, anytime I've watched that fight, it's reminded me of what is it? The Evil Within 2. It kind of gave me Evil Within 2 vibes, like he was a monster from that game.
Oh, the wife at the end?
Yeah, something like that. And there's still a lot of QTE in it, but it feels like not as much, right? Like
no, not nearly as much. I mean, like the whole fight with Sadler, not Sadler,
Krauser.
Krauser. You didn't do the weird knife fight. I mean, you did, but it wasn't quick times. It was literally you got to watch it, and it honestly was cooler.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not the QTE. That was like a thing that I didn't like originally. But yeah, watching the Krauser fight now, I'm like, oh, this, like, it's an actual fight. And now whenever they're just fighting in a cutscene, I can just sit here and kind of fucking watch it. I don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about pressing a button.
I don't have to keep my hand on the bumpers ready to go.
Well, you know, with the QTEs, I was like, at that time, that was.
Oh, that was the thing. Yeah.
That was the only way they could do it. Yeah, God of War really made it popular, and I think God of War and Resident Evil 4 were kind of being developed at the same time.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, fantastic execution. Of course, they made professional. You get your new game plus. I think the one thing everybody harps about is the Separate Ways DLC not being a thing in here, where when you play it in the original, you can play as Ada and, get her side of the story. Where with this, it had more story for Ada. It had more story for what's his name? Luis.
But Josh, the Ada voiceover.
Oh, yes, the Ada voice. Oh, God. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm saying for what it is. So, 2 remake, that's like the best, other than the original one, was the best remake they've done. 3 totally missed the point. 4 came back and solidified itself.
I don't know. They cut my favorite boss, Josh. 4 cut my favorite boss.
Wow.
And I know you 3 back in the day was probably just filler in 4, but that was my favorite boss.
Then why don't you have them make Separate Ways, Nick, and have that be the final boss in there?
But also, I don't like this. Hey, we're remaking this game. Now we've got 2 Resident Evils in a row that have been remade where some boss has been cut.
What other boss was cut?
Well, the Gravedigger in 3, and you 3 had this one
Jesus. cut. No one liked Gravedigger. Only
I
you.
Did. You said you
do not. You're not important.
Whatever.
Wait, what did I say? I said, yeah, it's a shame they took out Gravedigger. Doesn't mean I loved it. It wasn't like, oh my God, my favorite. No, first off, his name is in the title. That is my favorite boss, Nemesis. The best horror monster besides Tyrant that you can throw at me, and I would just sit there and take it. I would become whatever he technically was supposed to turn Jill into when he shoved his tentacle down her throat.
Go on.
Keep going. Pyramid Head was better, but Josh, what about Dead Space?
Honestly, another remake that I was happy that it happened. Don't get me wrong. I get why everybody would be upset because it basically is a copy and paste from the original. That's not where I'm getting at, though. I fell in love with Dead Space. It was probably the first Xbox 360 game that I picked up and 100%ed, and I've loved every moment of it. And it's the same thing now. There's nothing that I didn't love about it. They stuck to what it is. It's beautifully made. Honestly, I'm excited for Dead Space 2. Do I want them to make it exactly how Dead Space 2 was? No, because there were some issues with Dead Space 2.
Did they confirm they're doing 2?
I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed, but I know there's rumors going around.
I hope they do the same marketing ad.
I hope it becomes successful because I loved the trilogy. I've played all 3 of them. I've 100%ed all 3 of them. I beat the DLC of 3 and found out what happens, the secret ending.
Did you watch the animated movie?
Actually, I did.
Okay.
And I played the Wii. I think it was the Wii game.
I forgot they had a Wii game.
Yeah, and I think there's a Wii U one as well. I think they're maybe both Wii. Either way, I've played all of them. I love every single thing about Dead Space. And I agree that Dead Space 3 was definitely a letdown, as far as what it could have been. But they left it on such a fucking cliffhanger. I want more, damn it. And I want them, if they're going to bring me Dead Space, fucking do it right. And so far they have done right with this first one.
I think what really helped, didn't really help, but I think it was kind of cool, was that Callisto Protocol came out a few weeks before Dead Space did.
Yeah.
And that was from a lot of the guys that did that original Dead Space, or some folks that did that original Dead Space. But it also kind of was like Dead Space in a prison.
And see, I loved Callisto Protocol. Yes, did it have its moments? Of course, that's gonna be every game. However, for what it is, I could see Dead Space in it, and I loved it. And once I 100% that one.
Third person horror was having its moment back in late 2022, early 2023.
Yes, I mean for sure. Like Dead Space and Callisto Protocol, they were very solid games, and yes, I know both had their moments. But however, Dead Space in general, it has me sold. I want a sequel, or if not even a sequel, give me some DLC at least. Give me like a in between.
Right. Well, and love or hate Callisto Protocol, like either way, it got Dead Space on your mind, and
Yes.
oh shit, hey, Dead Space is on. Like, I think that was really, like, is it EA still attached to Dead Space? I think EA was like, yes, we don't care if you love it or hate it. Yes, Dead Space is coming, you sons of bitches.
And I mean, it was marketed everywhere. I don't think for the longest time I can go anywhere without somebody marketing it. GameStop, GameFly, IGN.
Gamefly.
Oh, even people who I consider like more casual players were like, oh shit, Dead Space remake's coming out. I gotta go play that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that and Resident Evil stay so far. Metroid Prime Remastered. This was a surprise drop, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it
Trying to
was.
remember.
Because everybody assumed it was going to be an announcement for Metroid Prime 4. And instead we got this.
It still looks great.
No, for a remaster, it looks fantastic. I mean, I would never have thought.
On handheld mode.
On handheld mode.
Handheld
Let's
mode.
clarify that right now.
This needs to be said on handheld mode. If you play it on TV,
Yeah.
it is okay. It's okay.
GameCube. I'm sorry, the Wii. The Wii made it look better. But yeah, no. So for in handheld mode, we're specifically handheld mode, because console mode, let's be honest right now, or dock mode, it's bad.
Yeah, but that's a lot on the Switch. Like anything anyone plays on the Switch, I think you should. If it's not like a indie game like Shovel Knight or something, I'm like, yeah, you should probably play that on handheld mode.
Yeah, for sure. But besides the point, it definitely in handheld mode makes it look like it was not made in the early 2000s.
Well, and I was really worried about the controls because we're GameCube. You had the one thumbstick and the C stick, which you can hardly call that a stick.
It was
and
not
then
a stick.
to go over here and have the 2 sticks and have it still work really well. Still, it plays great. Boss fights are fun. I didn't miss scanning at all. I was like, I could. Can we get rid of the scanning? Can we skip all this scanning stuff?
Yeah, the scanning was going back and looking at it. Scanning was very much. I mean, and even then, to 100% it, you fucking had to scan everything.
And you could miss shit because there'd be like a bird, like a fast bird or something that you had to scan or some shit. It's like, oh fuck, I guess I gotta come back into this room and try to scan that bird again before it disappears.
I loved. So that was definitely one of my hates. I would even say like the X-ray vision was kind of annoying too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake, good job, Jake. I
Yeah.
think that one can stay too. Advance Wars 1 and 2,
I don't think Metroid Prime can stay.
I think it can
I
stay.
think it'll get removed, and I think Advance Wars as well. And that's for a different reason. But
Well, I mean, I look at the rest of, and believe me, it's a short list, but I look at the rest of this
That's-
list and I'm like, what replaces Metroid Prime Remastered? Advance
Well-
Wars 1 and 2, it's cool to have it in one package, but I think Metroid Prime and Advance Wars both suffer in the fact that both of these games were shelved for a while. Advance Wars for a great reason, Metroid Prime just because Nintendo was like, we need something for later on.
yeah, we
But-
need something to like get us a little bit of pocket money, guys. Come on.
we gotta
So
get the people ready.
my thing with Metroid Prime is that it's like it just came out of nowhere. It's the same game on a different platform, and it's been remade a few times, right?
Well,
Not really.
technically, they re-released the trilogy onto the Wii,
That was more of a
which-
collection.
right? But and they did make some updates to it where you could use the Joy-Con, not the nunchuck, but the Joy-Con itself to aim, which is what a lot of modders used for using dual sticks on emulators, which was really cool. But yeah, I mean, so keep it on there for now. But I think down this list, it's the rest of this list is not that good. I mean, Advance Wars 1 and 2, I agree. It's the same package. That's a good thing. But it got shelved. And yeah, it was for, because of the Ukraine war.
I still think Advance Wars 1 and 2 are great games.
No,
I just think it's a better history piece. Like a better hey, this is where tactics gaming was.
This is what mom and dad played growing up.
Because if someone were to ask me hey, I want to play a little tactics game on my Switch, what should I play? I'm not handing them Advance Wars 1 and 2. What I'm handing them is what's that game with the robots that I like to what's it called?
You didn't even think of a game.
I know I just had it off the
I was
top
just
of
gonna
my
say Fire Emblem.
Not even Fire Emblem, no.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they're gonna ask me for a tactics game, I'm gonna tell them Fire Emblem. It's what started it all at this point.
Into the Breach. If someone is like, hey, I want to get into a tactics game on the Switch, what should I play? I'm not handing them Advance Wars 1 and 2. I'm saying, hey, go play Into the Breach. This is a much better, deeper version of that. The animations are cute. The little cartoon people going to war is cute and all, but yeah, go play Into the Breach. And like you said, Fire Emblem. I'm not recommending Fire Emblem personally because I don't like the style of it, but there are multiple different games I would hand someone for tactics that aren't Advance Wars 1 and 2.
No, and even then, why would I spend $50, $60 on Advance Wars 1 and 2 when I've got an emulator, a Steam Deck that can play the Game Boy Advance versions of the games for free?
These were Game Boy Advance, right?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the art would be weird too because the Game Boy Advance screen, very very sprite heavy, it favored pixels. Whereas if you're playing on an OLED Switch screen, it kind of doesn't look right? It still looks good, but it doesn't.
They updated the graphics and stuff for the Switch. It's a whole remake.
It's a whole remake, but I think when you compare it to let's say you were running it on the Switch and then you were holding one of the original games on a GBA in front of you, I think
You'll
GBA
notice the
game
difference.
I think the GBA game would still look better. It's an aesthetic is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, all they did was polish a turd. And I'm not saying it's a bad game because I'm saying a turd, but essentially that's all they did was polish it.
I don't know. I don't think Advance Wars stays.
No, it's bye-bye. I'm sorry, you've had your time. Probably went away for too long.
Rebuttal. Last of Us Part 1. I'm not crazy about this coming out 10 years. So this was a cash grab with the show coming out.
Oh, it very much was.
This was a cash grab. This wasn't done by Naughty Dog, right? This is done by somebody else, right?
Yeah. I'd have to look.
Go ahead and look that up while I say my piece. Runs like dog shit on PC. It probably still runs like dog shit. Let me see what Steam says about the port. Let's see what the reviews are saying. Oh yeah, it's still mixed on Steam over here. I kind of want to read. I'm looking vicariously, because this is at the end of the day, this is our choice.
So PS5 version September 2nd, 2022, Windows March 28th, 2023. And it was developed by Naughty Dog, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Okay, so Naughty Dog did do the work. Okay, so here's some reviews. Loading Simulator, PC Crash Simulator Part 1.
I love it.
Let's see. Well, those are the only short ones. I don't want to read these long ones. But yeah, just it's crazy because Sony's luck with these this one being a remaster. They've already remastered this game, by the way.
Yeah, we know. Game of the
Well, I
year.
mean, it got the Resident Evil treatment where there was only like 3 or 4 years after release, and then we had the GameCube version.
Yeah, it got. Well, because I want to say Last of Us was the swan song of the PS3. Is that 2013? Yeah, it was the swan song.
Yeah, and then they at one point they remastered it for the PS4.
It came out like a few years later. Yep.
Or not remaster, I guess. It was more like
It was
upgraded.
It was a touch up. It got a little touch up.
Got a little bit of love, some TLC, and then we got this, and it's like, I remember, I can't. Was it their lead director or lead producer, or whatever, was like, "This is not a cash grab. This is for all the fans." Like, dude, it's a fucking cash grab. Don't like, if it's a cash grab, call it as it is and just accept it, man. Just be like, yeah, it's a cash grab, dude. We need some money. Fuck, I believe it. Go ahead. People are gonna be stupid enough to buy it. That's fine. But don't sit here and patronize me and tell me it's not a cash grab.
As soon as it got announced, I was like, "Oh, I bet you that show's coming out right around the time that it came out after the show ended, right?"
I think
No, I thought it was just as
just
it was
like
out.
during.
Yeah.
Let me double check the date on that since I'm on that page already. That was March 28th, so right around the time it ended because the show premiered in January.
I thought it came out in February, but okay. Yeah, I believe it.
So, and it's funny because we've got an interview that I did with Uwe Boll that'll be coming out next week. And in talking to him, he's like, yeah, people watching The Last of Us, not a lot of people knew that it was a video game.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to other people, like I think Lane's parents watched The Last of Us and didn't realize it was like didn't Andy's parents also?
Yeah, they didn't know that either. They're still watching it. And they're like, "Have you seen it?" And I'm like, "No, but I played the game." And her dad's like, "Oh," like he looks at me like he's judging me, but I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. It was a game before it was a show. I know what happens.
Well, at the time, Josh was swirling a bottle of wine, saying, "I like the game better."
This is where I stick to my guns. Damn it!
It was a cash grab for sure. Was a cash grab. Ran like shit on PC. I'm sure it ran fine on PS5.
Well, yeah, they're not going to let their bread and butter be destroyed. They're like, you make this fucking game work.
I think The Last of Us Part 1 can go.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. System Shock. I did not play the original. I was aware of the original. For those who don't know, System Shock 2 is a major inspiration for BioShock. It might be. I think BioShock's the spiritual successor to spiritual successor to System Shock 2. I think this remaster, remake, whatever it is of System Shock is going to be something that actually introduces a lot of new people to it. That being said, I think the game looks great, but with these other three, I don't think it stands out. I don't think it doesn't really meet that Remakiest Remake or remaster, because I don't think a lot of people played the original.
No, I think maybe if it gets a good enough push by the end of the year, it'll be something. But for now, it's not there. It won't make it.
One, I think there's still hope. What was it? I think there's like a fan made System Shock 2 remake coming out, or I don't know if that got shut down, and now this team's like, we did the first one, why not do the second one? But I think it's a great game. I just don't think it's the most remakiest remake.
No.
And then there were 3. I really think this category is going to come down to RE4 and Dead Space. And with Josh being the only one that has played both of them.
I've played all 3 of these, actually.
You played all 3 of these. I played Metroid Prime Remastered and dabbled a little bit on the RE4. Watched it more than anything. What say you, Josh?
So I have to give it to Resident Evil 4.
Why that over Dead? Because it sounds like you, Josh, you 100%ed Dead Space.
I did. So Dead Space, and I had to look it up. There was like very minor differences, like very minor compared to the original and this. It's very true to itself, which is great because I fell in love with Dead Space. However, Resident Evil 4, even though they cut Nick's favorite boss fight,
They cut him.
they kept true to what Resident Evil 4 was. They updated it, made it more modernized. They still let you explore the old areas of the original game. And it's so well done. Like it's like they are like, if we fuck this up, we may never be able to go back and remake Resident Evil games. They knew that. And they took like, yes, Resident Evil 3, they screwed up so much and they lost so much faith because of it. And I think that's why they sat there and like, okay, guys, if we're going to do Resident Evil 4, we have to do it right. From treasures to key items, boss fights, weapons, area designs. I mean, yes, a lot of it is still aesthetically the same, but they've made it so different that if you were to sit here and tell me, Josh, blind play, I'm not even blind play, tell me the difference between like the church, what the church area looks like in both games. They're the same, but they're also different. You don't jump out of a window now to help Ashley. You are climbing up to the attic of the church and you're sneaking out the back window as they are searching for you.
I think you're right in that this was the most important remake that they've done. Just because, I mean, if you mess up 3, I mean, who gives a shit? Like 3 was also always like kind of the middle child.
Oh yeah.
So I think this was the most important. I think from here though, this kind of gets away from the Remakiest Remake, but from here they kind of, okay, you remade 4. Now what? Because this kind of feels like either this is it or this is something that's going to build into these next remakes, because they've got 5 and 6 that are both middling children, and they've got Code Veronica, which is kind of like that kid everybody likes, but nobody really sees because he's off doing his own thing.
So, and that's where they're kind of split right now. So, from my understanding, at least from rumors with Capcom, they are talking about either 5 or going back to 1.
Oh, I didn't even think about 1 because you also got 0. Oh my god!
And they said they wouldn't go back to 0, but they considered making 0 a part of 1.
Oh, I'm here for it.
The community right now is torn between Code Veronica and Outbreak. So no matter which way they go, it's going to be very interesting.
Based off of what they've kind of done with 3 and 4, here's what I could see them doing: remaking 5 and having 5 open with like the Antarctica part of Code Veronica.
That would be cool
because it reintroduces Wesker. It kind of serves as like a prologue to the game. And then they cut out like all the prison shit and the dweeby ass Steve. They don't have to worry about that. Father. Because you get the Ashfords with that prologue. You also go into Oswald. Is Oswald the other one? Oswell? I forget.
No, it's Ashton, I think.
I forget who the main is. It's not Orwell.
Oh, you're talking about the main guy who they did the 5 DLC where Chris and Jill go to that mansion.
Go to kill him and stuff, yeah.
Well, not kill him, they go to capture him, but Wesker's there to kill him.
Right. So yeah, you do the Code Veronica prologue, goes straight into 5. That takes care of all the incest stuff from Code Veronica that you want to avoid. And then you get into 5 and you got to figure out what you're going to do with all the racism. That's just what I think. I think they're going to, prologue Code Veronica into 5. Boom. I like that idea. Someone get Capcom on the line, but I think 4 takes it. I think you're right. I think 4 takes top spot because it feels like it was it's true to itself, but it also tried some new things. Dead Space reintroduced everybody to Dead Space. It fixed some of the issues. Didn't it fix like the 0G stuff?
Yes, fixed the 0G stuff. It fixed honestly all of the space stuff. So either you're in 0G or you're in the spot where there's no oxygen, it fixed all that. The weapons were better balanced. The melee was better balanced, because I can remember running through Dead Space and being able to just use stasis on everything and stomp the shit out of it. With this one, I had to be smarter about what I did.
The fact that you have to cut their limbs off to kill them instead of their head still fucks me up. It's like, oh, because that was a game, the original, I just never got into because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Oh, dude, I played the shit out of that game. Like I said, I 100%ed it. I 100%ed this one.
All right, so Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, Metroid Prime Remastered.
Yeah, in that order. Yeah.
Just the fact that they sat on Metroid Prime for like a year. It sounds like it was done in 2020, and they're just like, COVID, let's sit on it. Makes sense from a business standpoint, but from
they
our
wanted
side-
to release some images or something from Metroid Prime 4, and they're like, oh, we don't have anything. Pull it from the vault now.
Dude, Prime 4 will either be the last thing that comes out on Switch, or it'll do the Twilight Princess Breath of the Wild, where it will be, because Breath of the Wild came out on Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Wii U and the Switch.
it'll do that thing where it comes out on Switch and Switch 2 or whatever the fuck they call it. Because at this point, Nintendo, what they don't do is they don't like the fact that we got 2 Zeldas on this is crazy. It blows my mind. But they usually don't do two of their titles. So I think we get Metroid Prime 4 and then we're done. Because technically we already got Metroid on the Switch, technically.
Well, Nick,
If you consider that.
N64, they had Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, but they built that off the same engine. So the fact that, like, Breath of the Wild, yes, it's a different Zelda game, but it's same engine, same world. Like, they just were cutting and pasting and shit. So yes and no. But, I mean, there's always one exception. Because, like, the Wii had Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. And then the Wii U had whatever the Zelda was on that, and Breath of the Wild. All right, so hey,
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD.
yeah.
And Skyward Sword.
I don't know if you can include the remake. Yeah, I guess you can include the remakes. Fuck it. Nintendo's on its own little fucking hamster wheel compared to the rest of us. Hey, most remakiest remake goes to Resident Evil 4, with Dead Space and Metroid Prime Remastered taking second and third. Guys, we did it. We got through day 1 of GOTYSO.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It's not GOTYSO.
GOTYSO! I'm sorry you guys don't like GOTYSO. Quick recap on the categories for today. We had best continuing game so far, with Fortnite winning and Rust and Teamfight Tactics coming in behind it. We had best song so far, with Commander's theme from The Last Spell taking the title. Battle theme from Final Fantasy 16 and Versus Screen theme from Street Fighter 6 coming in behind that. And then on best remakiest remake so far, we had Resident Evil 4 taking the cake, followed by Dead Space and Metroid Prime Mastered. Guys, we have 4 more days. 4 more days to go through. Tomorrow, we are going through... Oh, these are some good categories tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, we've got Best Box. Best...
Oh. Like, who's like, hey, I wonder what the best box is for the year so far.
And we're going to find out. Best box so far. We've got best new dev so far. And we've got best moments so far. So tune in tomorrow when we go through those. We're going to have a lot of fun. Guys, thank you for hanging out today. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been Smashing Game Time. We hope you had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.